Okay guys, welcome to the Friday Waffle, except that's not going out on Friday. I'm actually recording this on Wednesday, which is Christmas Eve, and I'm going to, by the time you're watching this, well, the earliest you're going to get to watch it is going to be Christmas Eve itself. I did think about putting out on Christmas Day, and I thought to myself, nah, you know, hopefully all you guys have got something far more important to be doing on Christmas Day than watching me talking pish. So I thought, yep, I'll stick it out on Christmas Eve. And yeah, so that is it. So I trust you've all had a decent week. I've just been really busy with work again. The type of job it is, it doesn't really get any quieter. You know, job centres are open all the time, so you know the work never really stops. But I had our Christmas meal. I thought it was quite funny. I mean, this kind of sums up the company I work for. We were invited to go for a Christmas meal yesterday at 12:30, I think it was. And yeah, the meal itself was quite nice. Then at the end of it, we were all asked to chip in £8 each. So they were obviously given, you know, a budget to spend, and we obviously spent more than we had. So I actually had to contribute towards my works meal, which I thought was quite funny. Never ever I've never had to do that ever, you know, before. So I thought that was quite funny. But anyway, listen, enough of my gripes and moans. I've been doing plenty of that recently. Yeah, 2 days to Christmas. Hope you've all got all your stuff. Well, by the time you watch this, it's going to be tomorrow, Christmas, unless you're watching it after Christmas, in which case I hope you had a nice Christmas. But I hope you've got all your presents bought, because if you haven't, then you're too damned late. The only thing I can suggest, if you've not got your wife anything or your girlfriend, get out to that 24-hour garage. They always do some cracking flowers. In fact, you might even get them cheaper, because it's you know, you might get them cheaper since they're going to expire soon. So yep, 24-hour garage is perfect. I was up at the shops with my daughter, trying to pick up something for my wife. She did get something, she did pick something about a month ago which she wanted to use beforehand. So it was left to me to try and pick her up something. Now my wife she's probably like a lot of people, she's bloody fussy. I mean, I've lost count the number of presents that I've bought over the years, and they've just simply never been used, from books, Michael Bublé books, George Michael, well I can understand that. Yeah, books, CDs, cookbooks. She asked for what the hell do you call it, a Big Bang Theory, and I got her a couple of box sets of that. She's never watched it. Various things. So it's got to the point where I've kind of given up actually sort of just surprising her. I was going to get her perfume, and I was asking her sister what what perfume she likes, not that I would know, and she told me what she likes, but says don't bother because we've already bought it. So I was left with absolutely no ideas at all. I did ask my wife, give me some ideas, but no. So I went up to Sainsbury's with Ava, my daughter, and I just got a couple of things. So if she doesn't like them, tough. Hi. So anyway, I am working tomorrow. Well, tomorrow being Christmas Eve, I'm working tomorrow, and then that's me until I'm taking the Tuesday the 29th, I think, is it? 30th and 31st off. So I'm basically finishing up Christmas Eve, and I go back to work on Tuesday the 4th, I think it is. So it's a decent wee break. I'll need to kind of log into the computer a couple of times to do some bits and pieces, but on the main I'm planning to, you know what, just to kind of take a step back from everything and just chill out. You know, I think I'm really needing to do that. And I hate to say it, but I certainly need to up my my job search, because as I've mentioned, I still don't have a full-time job. I mean, this has now been, I first put out a video back in, when was it, October 2014, telling you that I was getting made redundant and they were going to give me this sort of temporary job. Well, here I am over a year later, and I've still got that job. I've still not got a full-time job, so I really need to make a point of trying to up my game and getting something else. So that's that. But anyway, enough of the dismal talk. Christmas. Now, I don't have any real video game stuff to talk about in relation to Christmas. I think because I'm one of the older, I'm one of the older people that are into this hobby. I mean, I would be, what, 18 when I got my first computer. Well, I tell a lie, I mean, my first computer was a Texas T199, which I got for my birthday, I think it was. But, you know, I bought the C64 myself. Everything else I got after that was bought by myself. So I don't have any like computer video game related Christmas stories, because I already had the computer. I mean, I understand a lot of people, you know, their first computer, their first Spectrum, ZX81, Commodore 64, whatever it was, VIC-20 was bought at Christmas time. But I don't have that sort of connection with Christmas, because I'd basically bought the computer myself. But I'm just, it actually ties in with one of the questions I've got. In fact, I'll read it out just now actually, if I can see, because it's getting bloody dark in here. It's Brian, blah, 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 blah. Where are we? I'm just reading all the things that he's put in. Do you remember your favourite Christmas present as a kid? Now, that got me thinking about Christmas in general. Just how things have changed so much since I was a kid. I mean, I think for somebody like myself, you know, for a kid growing up in the sort of the late 60s, 70s, money was definitely harder to come by. I don't think people were necessarily better paid, but I think the difference being back in the 70s and, you know, even probably the 80s, the mum or the mother would probably stay at home and look after the kids. Her job was kind of to bring up the kids, and that's just basically how things were back then. So probably a lot of families only had the one income. You know, the dad would go out and work. And my mum and dad were like that for a while. Then my mum, once we got a wee bit older, my mum started working. She was a nurse all her life. So money was quite tight back in the 70s and 80s. Nowadays, you know, like I said, I don't think we earn any more money, but you probably find that, you know, both the guy and the girl, or the two people, whatever it is, both earn money, so there is probably a bit more disposable income. Factor on top of that, bank loans, credit cards, you know, there's all these things now that people don't seem to wait to buy things. I mean, my mum, she always her philosophy was, if you didn't have the money for something, then you couldn't buy it. So anything at all that I wanted, she would always tell me, you need to save up for it, son. And then once I got the money, I could go out and buy it. And yeah, you know, it's true what she said, you did appreciate things because you saved up for it, and then you were going out with the cash in your hand to buy something. But I mean, my mum and dad are gone, God bless them. You know, my dad died 2 years ago, literally just 2 years ago. Yeah, it was January the 13th he died, sorry, January the 9th 2013 he died. My mum died back in 1998, so what was I going to say there? I mean, things have changed so much now. Yeah, they were very much of the, you know, the, if you didn't have the money you didn't buy things. But this is the culture and society we live in now. People just want things right away. I mean, kids nowadays, when I say kids, I mean I'm talking about maybe somebody 18 years old, whatever. They've all got brand new cars, they've all got the latest iPhones, they've all got the best of gear. When I look at pictures of myself as a kid, 16, 17 years old, I didn't really give two shits about what I looked like. Yeah, I fancied girls, and obviously once you kind of started chasing girls, and you got a wee bit more, you took a bit more interest in your appearance and that kind of stuff. But I mean, my first car was £500, and it was an absolute shit heap, it really was. But nowadays people just go out and take out loans and that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm kind of going off topic a wee bit. So yeah, back in the day, Christmas wise, I mean, I had an absolutely fantastic childhood. I really did. When I say childhood, I mean from when I was born right up until, 18, 19. I mean, I got married at 21 years old. So really, from the time I was born right up until I left the house to get married, my mum and dad were great. They really were. They were such a loving couple. They got on brilliantly as well. They had a fantastic marriage. And me and my two sisters, I had two older sisters. I still do have two older sisters. We didn't get a lot, but what we did get was excellent. I mean, we got a lot of love and attention. We got, my mum and dad gave us a lot of time and that kind of stuff. But when I think back to what we got as presents, it wasn't much at all, and I don't mean that in an ungrateful way. It really wasn't. I mean, when I tell you what my favourite Christmas present is shortly, it wasn't a lot of money, but we appreciated it. I mean, nowadays, I mean, my daughter, she gets spoiled like most kids nowadays. She's my only daughter. She's my only child, I should say. My wife and I both work. We work hard. So we're not rich, but we certainly do have, we've got money we can spend and things. So I enjoy spending money on my daughter. I really do. Anyone that's got kids will agree you do get a lot of happiness, and it makes you happy, spoiling your kids. But kids nowadays, they do get far too much. Absolutely. I mean, nowadays, my daughter will maybe say to me, "Oh, Dad, there's a game I'd really like on Steam or whatever it is, and how much is it?" "Oh, $9.99. Right, okay, and I'll buy it. I will buy it. I mean, don't get me wrong. If she said to me, "Oh, can I get a game that's £40?" I would say, "Well, no, you get it for your birthday." But kids get all the time. They really do. But when we were kids, yeah, you would get bought sweets, but you simply didn't ask for something unless it was coming up to your birthday or Christmas. That's just the way things worked. So it was only really 2 times of the year that you could get whatever you really wanted. And you didn't always get what you wanted, but there was always a couple of toys that you wanted, and that was the 2 times of the year. Christmas, birthdays, that was the 2 times of the year when you actually got what you wanted. You may have got a couple of the things you wanted, you didn't get everything, but nowadays kids just get, "Yeah, I'll go and buy it," and I think for that, the magical side of Christmas has lost a lot. I mean, I sound like an old fart. It's probably because I am an old fart, but Christmas has become just so commercial. It's ridiculous. I mean, I was up in the shops tonight, and it was, you'd think we're coming to the end of the world, and the shops are going to be closed, and you think people were panic buying. It was just absolutely jumping with people. People are shoving you out the road. It's utter nonsense, and it's all for one day. I mean, I enjoy Christmas Day itself. It's always good fun with family. Possibly not as much fun as it used to be, because I say my mum and dad are both gone now, so that's a big part of my life that's kind of missing now. But I'm always a right cynical old sod when I think, Christmas now seems to sort of start. I would say it probably starts in November. You get all the adverts, and you get people talking about it, and all the adverts for toys and aftershaves, and then I mean, I don't know, people put the Christmas decorations up. I mean, believe it or not, we actually got a Christmas card. I think it was the middle of November. Yeah, we actually got a Christmas card. And it's just utter nonsense. And I mean, I enjoy that part of it. I enjoy the kind of the run up to Christmas. But where I kind of get saddened is, I would say, literally by after you've had your Christmas dinner and you put the TV on, you might get some crusty old film, but then you get adverts. Christmas Day, you're getting adverts for like Thompson's Holidays, adverts for buying cars and going on holiday. It's like as soon as Christmas is here, bang, finished, gone, that's it, Christmas is over. So we have this massive hype and build up, to this one day, and it's just a single day, and it just seems to fly in, and you've got this massive, you know, build up to the big day, and then it's just bang, flat as a pancake. That's it. You know, and the funny thing is you get people back out the next day, Boxing Day, looking to buy more stuff. I mean, it's like, seriously, when does it finish, you know? But aye, so I mean the whole commercial side of Christmas to me has definitely ruined things. When I think back to Christmas as a kid, I mean, I'm talking about even when I was like maybe 6, 7 years old, my mum used to give me pocket money. I mean, I can't remember how much pocket money I got. It was maybe like 50 pence a week. You know, it really wasn't a lot of money even then. And even, you know, even as a sort of a youngster, I had to buy, or no, I didn't have to, but I mean, I used to go and buy Christmas presents for people. So I'd buy for like my mum and my dad, I'd buy for my granny, my granda, my grandma, my granddad, my 2 sisters, my auntie, you know, and I was probably spending, I don't know, you know, next to nothing, but you know what, it was just, Christmas really did feel special back then. It doesn't now. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, I don't know. But yeah, it says when it came to Christmas Day, I mean, even like as a kid, excuse me, believing in Santa Claus, it was it was magical. And I think because that was the time when I would get, you know, the present that I wanted, you couldn't wait for Christmas. But I think now, because kids get all the time, I think, you know, the whole Christmas bubble thing has burst. I just simply don't think it's what it was. But saying that, I still do enjoy the day itself. You know, it's good fun having the family around and that kind of stuff. But yeah, so to answer Brian's question, my favourite Christmas present, I was thinking about that, and I've actually got, there's four presents that I was given. Can't remember what years. Sorry, I can feel, you know when you get one of these, it's like a nerve in your eye, and I can feel it going bug, bug, bug. I can feel my lid kind of moving, and I'm really self-conscious, like as if you can see it, but you probably can't. It's irritating. Anyway, I don't know when I got these exactly, but I'm just going to start at the very top. The first toy, which was fantastic, you know, I can still see the box, I can still remember opening it, and it was Evil Knievel motorbike with the wee Evil Knievel doll or little plastic rubber thing. This you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't Google it, just not Google it, just go into YouTube and type in Evil Knievel toy motorbike. It was basically a plastic motorbike about so big, excuse me, and it had a kind of weight at the back, you know, that kind of turned the back wheel. But what you did was you sat it on this, the wheel had a little kind of cog thing, and you sat it inside this, what was called a launcher, I think it was called, this plastic launcher. You clicked it in place, and you had the wee rubber Evil Knievel thing, which came with the wee detachable helmet, which always went missing. But yeah, you connected it, you pushed this bike into place, you could put Evil Knievel on top of it. If I remember rightly, I think the first thing you did was just didn't bother with Evil Knievel toy because it used to fall off all the time. But yeah, you clicked this in place, then you started to turn the handle. It was a white handle, it was a red thing, whatever it was called, launcher, and it had this white handle, and you basically turned it, and it was quite hard to turn initially. Well, I'm saying it was hard to turn. It was hard to turn when you're like sort of 6 years old, and you turned it, and obviously the quicker you turned it, the more power you put in, and when you stopped turning the handle, this thing would just shoot off, and because it had a kind of weight in the back, it meant that the motorbike would obviously fly along on 2 wheels. I mean the front wheel had a kind of sort of suspension thing. I mean, it was excellent. It was really good. And the whole point of it was obviously Evil Knievel, stuntman. You could make stunts like ramps with books and God knows what, and it was quite clever because of the weight in the back. It didn't really matter how high or how it fell, as long as it was moving forwards, it would always land on two wheels and keep going. So yeah, I just had it was just the normal bike. I think there was a stunt bike or rocket bike, I think it was called. The real Evil Knievel, he did have some motorbike that had rockets fitted onto it, and this particular rocket bike had the same thing. I'm sure it had like little sparks that kind of came out the back when you were using this thing. But yeah, absolutely love it. I can remember the box. It just had a picture of him, on the motorbike, big tall box. I think it was kind of white with a picture of him on his bike. But absolutely fantastic toy. I mean, me and my mate Derek. In fact, this is how stupid I was. Derek got the same thing as me, and I mean, we grew up together, and we used to get almost identical toys. If I wanted something, he would want it, and I mean, we didn't kind of fall out over it, but he got the same thing, and we're making all these ramps, and I think, in fact, yeah, I'm talking about the helmet. I'm sure his helmet got broken for whatever reason. Something happened, and the helmet got broken. And so that I could be the same as him, I broke my own helmet. I deliberately broke my helmet, which is just absolutely stupid. But that's the way we kind of rolled back then. But yeah, we used to set up ramps, and absolutely tremendous, brilliant toy. So I don't know when that would be. That would have been, I'm guessing, probably 1973, 74, something like that. Yeah. So Evil Knievel. Another one which I've not written down here, which I loved, was one of my favourite toys, was the $6 Million Man. It was, in fact, there might be some people watching this that haven't even heard of him. $6 Million Man was an American TV programme which came out in the mid-70s, and it was a guy called Lee Majors. That was his real name, and he played the part of a guy called Steve Austin. Now, he was an acrobat. He was an astronaut, and he got the rocket that he was in blew up, and Steve Austin got injured. So what they did was they rebuilt him. Hence the reason he's called the $6 Million Man. It cost $6 million to actually build this guy, and although he was like a human being, they put like a robotic arm and that kind of stuff in. So the program was basically this guy who had he was kind of part man, part robot, super strong. He could run at like 60 miles an hour. He could jump, the height of the sort of Empire State Building. Totally ridiculous, but really good. So yeah, this was the $6 Million Man toy. It came in a big kind of tall red box, and the clever thing was he had his arm, and here was like a sort of like a motor, an engine type thing, but really clever. It had this like rubber skin that you could just roll back. You used to roll the skin back, then you could see all the kind of electronics inside his arm, like really, really good. And it also had a little, if you press the back, there's a little kind of button in the back of him. He would get his arm, and it would kind of like, a hydraulic arm type thing. So that was you kind of replicating him being super strong. And I'm sure it came with it was like a car engine, plastic car engine, which you used to put. You would grip his hand in, and this thing would lift it up. But there was that one. Now before I move on to the second thing, there was another interesting story. I got Action Man boat. It was a dinghy, and it came with this little battery operated motor. And on Christmas Day, I mean, this is how things are different, you wouldn't let your kids do it now, but on Christmas Day I went down, there's a little river down from my house, a sort of 10-minute walk, and me and my mate went down on Christmas Day. It was maybe Christmas Day or the day after, I can't remember exactly. It might have been Boxing Day or something, but it was certainly a couple of days, after Christmas. And I took this what do you call it, Action Man boat down the river, and we started the wee motor going, and we pushed it out, and then of course this was great. This thing was chugging along, and we were kind of like walking, walking at the side of this boat, and then there was up ahead there was these big rapids, and the wee boat's going bub 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 bub. We were thinking, hey, this is fantastic. I think it might have even had an Action Man on it actually, and yeah, you had the rapids, and things bub 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 bub. Then they got to the rapids and went and it just got sucked under the water, and I never ever ever saw it ever again. So yeah, my Christmas present was basically swallowed up by the River Almond in Livingston. So aye. Number 2, right, I'm going to move it out of order. I want to give you the best one for last. Number 2 was a toy. It was by Matchbox, who made cars, and it was a track, and it was as basic as anything. It was basically these little bendy, flexible bits of track, and the track had like walls in it so that the cars would go down, and you know the walls would stop the cars from kind of falling out the track. But these bits of track slotted together, and what it did was you would balance, you'd have this big length of track, you would put the top of the track on like a table, and then it would go down, and obviously the gravity would take the car down. But the clever thing was you had this loop the loop, where it actually went, a bit like you get in Sonic the Hedgehog, it actually went round in a loop. And it wasn't, we didn't really play with it with the loop for long, but what we did do, we used to make ramps. You used to put the track over books, and you'd have like competitions like to see what car could actually kind of fly through or do the longest jump. I mean, when I think back how many hours I must have played with that track, and it's funny, like looking back, I don't think that track, it probably cost, I don't know, it maybe cost £5. It wasn't a lot of money. But see, the hours and hours and days and probably even years that I played with that track was just absolutely incredible. So, pardon me, it was very much a, you know, it didn't cost a lot of money, but the fun that we had with this track was just incredible. So yeah, that's number 2. Number 3. Number 3, I couldn't even tell you what the name of it was. It was my auntie Chrissy. That was my granny's sister. She bought me this, and I'm trying to describe it. It was basically like if you imagine a plastic tub, a plastic box, but the box you tilted it on its side. Where the lid would be, it was like a clear plastic cover. Now inside this box was like plastic. It was like a shooting gallery, and also inside the box, it was all these marbles, or little steel marbles, and it was really clever. You had this gun that had a kind of magnet on the front, and what you did was, if you imagine the box is on its side, so you're looking into it, and you've got this plastic cover over it. You've got all the wee kind of things that you tried to shoot, the little kind of you know there was different targets and that kind of stuff, and you basically put the point of the gun, or whatever it's called, onto the plastic screen. You'd pick up a marble with a magnet, and then you pulled the trigger, and that used to kind of shoot the marble out. And it sounds as simple as anything, but see the amount of time that I spent playing that, it was just phenomenal. And what was great about it was like a self-contained unit, so all the marbles were all encased because they were inside this box with a plastic cover over it. And all you had to do once you'd finished, you just tipped it forwards, and all the marbles would kind of float. There was like a wee bit with like wee kind of indents along the front of the thing, so all the marbles would just kind of sit, and then you could just lift up a ball with it, you know, using the what do you call it, the bloody thing with the front of the gun. I'm terrible for trying to remember, forgetting words, but anyway. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, again, it was probably something that it was probably for like quite young kids. I mean, I don't know what age I was when I got it, but hours and hours and hours and hours of fun. And it's one of these things, barrel, that's what it is. It's one of these things that you think, wait, what happened to that? But back in the day, back then, there was no such thing as sort of second hand. There was certainly no eBay. There was no really selling. You never really gave it any thought. You'd never sold anything back then. There was really nowhere to sell things. So, when you got kind of fed up with toys, I hate to say it, but you probably just threw them out. In fact, you know what? It's actually quite sad when I think about this now. Now that I think about that, just talking about this thing, I am sure I got a Stanley knife and I actually cut the plastic and to kind of get inside of this thing. But obviously I must have been a lot older. I'd obviously finished playing with it. But it's sad because something like that, it was such a unique toy and fantastic. You know, the memories I have of that toy were just incredible. And again, it's something that probably didn't cost a lot of money, but the pleasure that I got out of that was just unbelievable. So yeah, that would be number 3, but I would say without a shadow of doubt, my favourite Christmas present, bar none, would be my Grifter, my Rally Grifter bike. Now, to anybody that's probably 35 or younger, you've probably got no idea what I'm talking about. Again, go into YouTube or go into Google and Google it. The Rally Grifter, it came out, I'm guessing it came out probably 1978, 79. So I would be, what would I be? Oh, I would be about 12, something like that, yeah. Now, it was kind of like the very first BMX. You know, BMXs came out a few years later, but this bike, it probably had more in common with a mountain bike that you get nowadays. It was the first thing, it was really distinctive for several reasons. The first reason, the actual framework, it was like that, it was really thick, and this thing weighed a ton. When I say it weighed a ton, it didn't weigh a ton, but it was bloody heavy. It was a real solid bike. Really heavy, really, like I said, solid. You know, you could do jumps in it, you could do whatever you wanted in it. And this thing, it was completely robust. You know, it was bulletproof. The second thing was, it had metallic paint. It came in 2 colours. You had the blue one and you had the red one. Now I had the red one, and it was just gorgeous. It was like metallic paint that you'd get in a car. Absolutely beautiful looking. And it had the big, you know, handlebars, and it had this big kind of padded bit across the top of the handlebars. And the really unique thing with this bike was it was called Stormy Archer. Basically you just twisted the handle to change gear. Now the gears on other bikes back then, it was like a wee handle, but this thing just twisted. It was like a motorbike. It was so cool. Absolutely awesome. It only had 3 gears. But you know what, I can still remember Christmas Day going downstairs, and I did want it. Now I didn't know I was going to get it, but I had to ask my mum and dad for it. I mean, back in the 70s, you didn't have really, it wasn't shops, it was, I was talking about like credit cards and that kind of stuff. There was no such thing as credit cards really back then. Well, my mum and dad certainly didn't use them. But what they did use was kind of similar. It was the catalogue. Now I've just told you about my mum. She would only pay for things when she had it, but for things like Christmas, she would use the catalogue. Now the catalogue, it was basically like an Argos, but it was just like a book, and you picked what you wanted and you sent it off. You know, there's no such thing as email. You sent it off and they'll place your order in an envelope, and then you'd get the goods. And what it is was you paid it up over like 20 weeks or like 38 weeks. So if you were buying something, say for 50 quid, you'd pay it back at like, you know, £1.26 a week. It sounds ludicrous, but that's what they did back then. That's how people could afford Christmas. They put it in a catalogue. I think the prices were probably a wee bit higher because you were kind of paying it off. But yeah, so of course the catalogue, you used to get the summer catalogue, which was of no interest to me because that came out in the summer time, and you know, they didn't have any toys, although I used to quite enjoy looking at the female lingerie department, or lingerie section. That was always interesting. But yeah, probably around about autumn time, the Christmas catalogue, or winter catalogue they called it, would come out. And so first thing you would do would be turn to the page, the toy department, the toy section, and you would just go through and go, oh, I'd like that, and you'd pick the toys you wanted. So I had picked this grifter, I'd asked Mum and Dad if I could get that, and I never knew really what I was going to get. You know, I would tell Mum and Dad the things I would like, and then it was really up to them to decide what ultimately I actually got in the day. But I can still remember Christmas Day, going downstairs, and I'm sure, did my dad put something over it, a blanket over it, something, I'm sure like a bed sheet was over his bike. And when I walked into the living room, obviously I still believed in Santa Claus at that point. And I right away I knew there's a bike under here, and when I pulled it back, there was this thing of beauty. It was, I can only describe it, the feeling getting that bike would be like getting your very, very, very first brand new car. Sparkly brand new car. That's what it was like. That's how it felt to me as a sort of a 12-year-old unwrapping this gorgeous looking metallic red bike. Then of course later on that day I went to see my best pal, and what did he get? He got Rally Commando, which was kind of similar, but kind of similar bike. But within about half an hour, he wanted to go on my bike more than, I mean, I gave him a shot in my bike, and he preferred my bike to his, and I've got to say I preferred my bike to his as well. I definitely got the better bike that year. And the funny thing was, I had that bike for probably, I think probably 10 years, maybe not quite as much as that. And I actually sold it to a guy in high school. I mean, even though the guy that, when he bought it, he was probably about 17 years old, but it was the kind of bike that you could get away with as, you know, even older now. I mean, you see guys on like BMXs nowadays, it was that kind of bike. You know, you got away with it. It wasn't a child's bike. But, oh man, that was just, like I says, it was like literally like getting a car. That's how it felt, opening this, getting this bike. It was a thing of beauty, and it was absolutely my favourite Christmas present, bar none. I mean, there was loads of other brilliant things that I got for my Christmas over the years, and again, nothing I don't think was really of any value, but it wasn't down to value because we didn't get much, you know, in between birthdays and Christmases. Christmas was the time when we would get this special thing. Okay guys, I've just got, that's me kind of done my bit. Again, apologies about not being gaming related at all, but you know, hopefully you'll enjoy this anyway. I've got three questions actually, but I've already answered one, and that was by Brian, what was my favourite Christmas present as a kid, and it was my Rally Grifter, without a shadow of doubt. Another chap, P. Odin, great waffle again, looking forward to the next question. Right, waffle question, have you played Star Wars Battlefront? If so, what are your thoughts since you're a fan? I have played Star Wars Battlefront. I've played the new one. I played it on the PC and also the PS4. They brought out a beta about a month ago, 2 months ago, where you could play it. I think it was for about 2 weeks or something like that. Now, I only played it for one night, and I was really impressed. I mean, graphically wise, it's just ridiculous. It's just so realistic now. You know, we're so close. I mean, it's a fine line between realistic, or real, you know, actual real life pictures and what video games can do now. You know, that we're almost there with photorealistic graphics. So graphically wise, obviously sounding that as well, absolutely phenomenal. The thing that made me not buy it is because I think it's primarily online. Now, I don't really get on with online games. I don't play many of them. I mean, I used to play, what was it called, Gears of War on the Xbox 360, which was excellent, but I think because my gaming is so kind of, you know, intermittent, hit or miss, or not hit or miss, I'm talking bollocks. My gaming time isn't very much. You know, I might have a couple hours one night, then I maybe don't get to play anything for another 3 or 4 days. So, and then if I was to play something like Star Wars Battlefront online, you'll find there'll be people, probably 14-year-olds that, you know, don't go to school, whatever. There'll be people who play these online games all day and all night. You know, they probably don't have any jobs. They'll just stay up right through the night playing these games. And so what happens is these guys become unbeatable. So when you get somebody like myself going online, maybe never only played it for half an hour online, if I go online and play these guys, I'm just going to get absolutely wiped out. I mean, I've tried Call of Duties, I've tried Gears of War, I've tried various, is it Counter-Strike, I've tried various Doom as well, Quake. I've tried all these kind of games online in the past, and you know, there's people who play them non-stop, and you tend to find that they can do all these moves which I can't do, you know, special moves and that kind of stuff, so it just frustrates the hell out of me, and so that is the simple reason why I don't play these games. So yeah, and one of my mates has got the game, and he did say that it's very, very nice, but there's not a lot to do other than running about, picking things up and shooting people. He says that is basically the game, so I've deliberately not bought it for that reason. Possibly if they brought out a really good, I don't know, sort of not a first person, if they brought out a game like that that had an excellent campaign mode, one player campaign mode, then I probably would buy it. But I'm certainly not going to buy this one just for the reasons I've already given you. So hopefully that's an alright answer to the question. And the last question is from Craig Ferguson. Thanks Craig. You seem to be enjoying the Xbox One. Do you feel that sometimes the high standard of games available compared to retro ones, you end up spending more time in the newer ones? Personally, I am enjoying both old and new, but wondered what you think. I've always kind of said that I do enjoy the older games more. It's probably not a true statement. I probably play the older games more, but it doesn't mean I enjoy them anymore. I mean, I do really enjoy new games, new systems. I mean, I've obviously just bought the Xbox One, I've got the PS4, I've got a Wii U, I've got a decent PC as well, so I can run a lot of this stuff pretty good as well. You know, I couldn't call myself a video gamer if I didn't want to have the latest machines. I mean, you know, the stuff that you can do nowadays, you know, the online stuff, which I've just told you that I don't actually do, but you know, the technology they've got now, the fact that you can play online with somebody from San Francisco and be talking to them and you're playing with them like as if you were sitting next to the guy in the same room. I mean, the technology now and the graphics, the big thing for me with new consoles is just the realism. It's phenomenal. I mean, for years and years and years, I used to always think, how wonderful would it be to have a game where you're just walking about a town and it's like realistic. Well, that dream has pretty much been realised with like Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean, I've only scratched the surface of that game, but the realism, and you really feel like you're there. I mean, once they get the what do you call it, the Oculus Rift, is sort of like the virtual reality type thing. Once they manage to get that working properly with something like Grand Theft Auto 5, I will be all over it like a rash. You know, I mean, even playing these games just on a normal TV, it's phenomenal. There's virtually nothing you can't do in them. You know, well, there's certain things you can't do obviously, but you know, just driving about in cars and going for a swim and climbing mountains, and you know, it's phenomenal. And it's purely because we've now got the hardware that allows us to actually play games like that. So absolutely, I love the modern consoles. I probably don't give them the amount of time, I don't invest the amount of time in them that probably most people do, and hence some people might think it's a waste of money me buying them, but I don't, because I buy something and I will keep it. Unless I was absolutely not using something, then I would sell it. But you know, if I buy something, I may not use it a lot at the moment, but you know, I know that in, you know, I was going to say 10 years time, it may not be working in 10 years time, but I know that if, you know, that Xbox that I've just bought, I will still be using that in 2-3 years down the line, so it's not a waste of money for me. pardon me. So absolutely, I love the modern games as well. I probably, excuse me, I probably do play more older games than I do modern ones, but it just depends. It depends what games are out there. You know, I find, like most people, I get a new game for like a modern console, and it'll click, and then I go back to it, and then I, save my game, and I can't wait to get back and play it. I've not had a game like that for quite a while. I think the last game that had that would be The Last of Us on the PS3, where I got so hooked in the game, couldn't wait to kind of play it. But I've bought quite a few games recently, and I'm still waiting for it to kind of get the hooks into me to make me want to go back and play it. And so what I tend to find is I play it for a short time and then stop, which is a bit of a waste of money. But no, absolutely, Craig. I love my old systems, and I love my new systems as well. I wouldn't be without either of them. So yeah. So that is it. That is the questions, guys. Just one little moan, which I should have probably spoke about at the very start, and probably an idle time to talk about it. I got myself, I think I mentioned last week, I got myself, what was it, Batman Arkham something or another. It's the one on the Xbox One. Bought it, I got it second hand, and I thought, oh, excellent, I'll play the game. So I put it in, and it came up, got to install. So it started to install, and it took, I don't know, it took maybe half an hour to install. Then I went to start it, then it came up, there's an update available, press X to continue, and it was a 5 point something or other gig update. So I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and by this time it was probably over an hour I'd been waiting, and it was getting late, and I thought, okay, I'll have a quick shot, X to start, and then it kind of asked me to put my name in, whatever it was. Then it comes up downloading level data, something like that, and it must have sat in that for about another half an hour. And it got to the point I was like, I'd wasted an hour and a half just trying to get the game to start, and I think I played it for 5 minutes, and I thought, right, nah, I've had enough. I'm wanting to go up for a bath, whatever it was. So that is just that is part of the reason that I don't play the new systems probably as much as I should, or I could, just for that reason. I mean, my kind of gaming time, like a lot of people, you get maybe a spare half an hour or whatever, so you put the main cab on, or you fire up the Amiga and have a quick game of whatever it is, pick up one of my handhelds, have a quick game of something. I mean, today I was, I think I mentioned I was on a Christmas night out last night, and I've stayed in a hotel, and this morning I got up and I was playing my GPD XD console, and I was playing, what was I playing? Contra on the DS emulator, and absolutely fantastic, brilliant. I played it for maybe 15 minutes, and it's got me thinking, right, I want to play that game. I want to play that game more now, because it's terrific, absolutely fantastic game. And so that's why my life that kind of gaming fits in with my lifestyle way better than a modern console. If I want to play a game, I just want to switch it on and away I go. This pish about having updates and downloading content and waiting for it to download whatever it is it's doing, that is the reason I can tend to shy away from modern games quite a lot. So anyway guys, listen, this is it. That is the end of this. I will get one more waffle out. Yep, I'll get one more before the end of the year. So this is the second last one. I just want to really take this opportunity, guys, to thank everybody who has supported me, whether you've been a subscriber, whether you comment, and whether you watch, like, whatever on the channel. I remember, I can't remember what it was when I got to, was it 400 subscribers? And somebody made a comment saying you'll get to 500 by Christmas. And at that point I thought, I was like, I don't know, I thought, don't be ridiculous, no chance, I'm never going to get to 500. Now, I'm not at 500, but I've got, is it 466 So it's not a kick in the arse off it, and it's quite incredible, you know, just how kind of quick the channel has grown. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. I mean, it's been one of these, this year, I don't mind admitting, with the job, it has been quite tough. Quite a lot of things I've suffered because of the job. I mean, the running, which I'm desperately trying to get back into. I've got my name down for the big race next year, so I really, really want to be in shape, fit and ready to go. But the job has definitely impacted on my running, and it's definitely impacted on the YouTube channel as well. But I think I've kind of got quite a good thing going with YouTube now. Before I started this job in January, I was kind of going a bit over the top with videos. At one point I used to try and put out a video every day, which, looking back now, I realise you don't have to do that. There's no need to put out a video every day. People don't have the time to watch all the videos, and you know, it just means that you end up putting out stuff just for the sake of it. So I've kind of cut right back. I mean, I usually try and get 3 videos out a week. I've got, you know, Friday Waffles on a Friday, obviously, usually. I'll maybe do one on a Sunday, Monday, and then sort of Wednesday, something like that, and then you've got your Friday Waffle again. So, you know, I try and get out at least 3 videos, and I think it's working. I mean, there's certain features that I've kind of came up with, different things. I mean, I can't even remember. You know what, I've got that many stupid features that I've thought about in the past, I can't even remember half the ones that I do now. I've got the one where I look at different companies and that, is it They Did What, I think I called it. I've not done any of them for a while, but these kind of featurey type ones do take up a lot of time, and that's something that I don't have a lot of, especially when I'm having to use the computer downstairs, because my wife is obviously downstairs watching TV and that, so that gets tough. But nah, I'm enjoying the channel. I'm still getting people watching videos, which is excellent. I am getting an increased number of comments as well. It's been nice to see. There's been quite a few kind of new faces that have come along, and I'm enjoying watching these guys' channels as well. I mean, I've always maintained this whole YouTube thing is about, it's all about a community. It's about having a laugh, enjoying yourself, and you know, I certainly am, and I like to hope that other people are enjoying what I'm putting out. All I can say, guys, is please, I can't get over enough how much I appreciate, like, you posting questions or topics or games or anything at all, because it can get tough trying to come up with stuff that you want to put out, and that's why probably the last 3 or 4 waffles have been a bit pish. I mean, they've really not been video game related, but the funny thing is, I've kind of noticed that the people that comment on the Friday Waffle, I don't think it really bothers you too much that they're not always about video games. I mean, there is more to life than video games. Yeah, a lot of people that are going to watch my channel are going to watch it because they want to, they're interested in old games, and if they hear me talking about my job or about running or bloody Christmas presents, it's just going to put them off. But going by the comments that I do get from you guys, I think you seem to quite enjoy just the general stuff that I talk about, and it does make it easier when you can talk about other things besides video games. But anyway, listen, I'm waffling quite a lot here, guys, so like I says, you're hopefully watching this on Christmas Eve, so I just want to take this opportunity, guys, to wish you all the very best. I hope you have a fantastic Merry Christmas, and I will be putting out more videos next week. I'm definitely hoping to get a waffle out before the new year. So anyway, guys, as usual, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe. Stick your comments below, anything at all, and as usual, thank you so much for watching.